Okay, so now we're rolling out our chocolate fondant. You still want to leave a little bit of a thickness to this chocolate because the top of the cookie has a little design on top, same if you were to use an Oreo cookie. I left a good thickness to this, not too thick because you don't want a mouthful of fondant, but a decent thickness. Now this looks like my 2-inch cookie cutter, but it's not. It's actually my 3.5-inch. These cookies, I don't know about Oreo cookies, but these cookies were about 1.75 inches, I would say. So the 2-inch cookie cutter just covered the sides, but did not cover the bottom. So I got my biggest cookie cutter, which is a 3.5-inch, and it has more coverage. So just fold it over, smooth it out. I was even rolling it on its side. The one thing you need to keep in mind if you do decide to use this technique is please be mindful of your cookie. It is a sandwich cookie. Now it could just because this was just a generic Oreo, but the cookies were kind of sliding, and if you use too much pressure, the cookies will break. I did just use my rolling pin if you want a little bit of a smoother finish, but it looks really nice and I'm not worried about that top. So now I'm taking my melted icing. This is just store-bought. I really honestly think that if you did maybe a homemade buttercream and melted it a little bit, but I think ganache would be best. But yeah, so you just want to put your cookie in there, tap it down, put it on some parchment paper, and just get it nice and coated. But if you notice, like off to the side, the one cookie, it's just the frosting is just running off. This one I was having a problem with. It did not want to stay on my little pitchfork thing. And go on to the next step. All right, so moving on to the next step, I took some cashews out of those snack mixes, which I'm glad I got 2 bags because they were super skimpy on them. And I was also a little upset because I guess it got too humid and my marshmallows were all sticking together. And for some reason, my chocolate kept seizing up and would not thin out. Was not happy about that. So I'm taking my little chocolate tool there and I'm just moving the marshmallow back and forth, and I'm using my spatula to kind of coat it a little bit. Now I'm tapping off the excess, and of course it kept falling off. I was having a heck of a time. And then as soon as I got it out, if I can get it out. See, this stuff is not easy. A lot of people make it look easy. It is not. It can be very frustrating. I tossed it into the coconut and just wanted to make sure it was coated really, really well. Another thing that I was doing, I don't know if I do it in this part or not. Okay, yes, I am. Is I'm really sticking the coconut on and really pressing it on. So that way when the chocolate dries, that coconut is on there and it's not going to come off. So then I'm taking a dab. It looks like a lot, but I'm just putting a little dab of chocolate onto the bottom of the cookie and put my coconut covered marshmallow on top. Now I took these out of the freezer. I just put my other ones on the tray so you could see. I know you can't see very well, but see, my chocolate kept seizing up and it was getting very frustrating. I didn't understand what was going on. I put Crisco in it, but it was just giving me a fit. And again, I'm just taking these out and I am putting that onto the melted chocolate frosting cookie. You see it through the tools. I have it on the baking tray over in the corner, and like I said, I'm really pressing that coconut onto the chocolate and making sure it's on there nice and firm. And again, I'll just take a dollop of chocolate, put it on top of the cookie, and press my marshmallow on top. Alright, so now it's time to add on the beaks. I'm taking my little skewer thing from the chocolate kit and I poked a hole into the chocolate shell with some white chocolate, and I'm just putting a little dollop on the back of the beak. Remember, the big end goes inside, and just hold it there for a couple seconds. It will pop out because, I mean, a marshmallow is squishy. But just hold it there and it will eventually firm up pretty quickly, and you're going to want to do that to all of your cute little eagles. Once your beaks are dry, you're going to want to take your little black decorator's icing and go ahead and put your nozzle on. Oh, I forgot what tip I'm using here, but it's the next one up from the little teeny tiny one. And just put just a little black dot. And remember, the eagle's eyes go on the sides and not like on the front facing out. And you just, if you want to pat them down, I did let them dry for a little bit and then I patted them down. And there you go. That is it to these super cute little eagles. I think they're adorable.